Today in Apache's Corner, we're going to look at multiplying probabilities. We're first going to look at independent events, and this occurs if one event does not affect the probability of a second event occurring. For instance, if we're tossing a coin and then rolling a die, one has nothing to do with the other. So we want to know the probability of the coin landing on heads and then also rolling a 2. Well, if we're flipping a coin and the probability of getting a heads is 1/2, now we have 2 events, so we're going to have 2 fractions. This time we want to know the probability of rolling a 2. So of the 6 options, right, that's going to be at the bottom, there's only 1, 2. Multiply those across, and the probability of tossing a coin and getting a heads and rolling a die getting a 2 is 1/12. Now, if we have a dependent event, this occurs if the first event does affect the probability of the second event. So for instance, if I have a standard deck of cards and you draw a card and don't put it back, then you're going to draw a second card. So what happens is when you first draw that first card and you don't put it back, that does affect what happens the second time around, right? So we want to know what's the probability of drawing a card and then a queen. So again, 2 things are happening. So we're going to have 2 fractions. 52 cards in a deck. To first get a jack, there's 4 jacks in a deck, a card, so that's going to be 4 out of 52. And we're going to multiply that. Now, this is where things you have to really think about it. I'm holding 1 card in my hand. So how many cards are left? 51. How many queens are still in that deck? 4. And again, 2 events going on, 2 fractions. We're going to multiply them, and I end up getting 4/663. Okay, now we're going to work on some conditional probability. And this is the probability of an event occurring given that another event has already happened and the events are dependent of each other. So let's take a look. If I have a bag that contains 8 red pencils, 6 yellow pencils, and 5 purple pencils, we're going to take a look at some different scenarios. The first one says 2 pencils are drawn one at a time and not replaced. What's the probability that the second pencil is purple given that the first pencil is red? So what happened first? That's going to be important. What happened first? Now, it says that we got a red pencil, right? But it says not replaced. So I'm holding that red pencil in my hand. I go back up top and there's 19 total pencils. I'm holding one in my hand, so there's only 18 pencils left in that bag. And I want to know what happens if that second pencil I pull is purple. So there's 5 purple pencils. So that is my final answer right there. The probability of the second pencil being purple, given that the first pencil is red. All right, let's look at our next scenario. 2 pencils are drawn one at a time and not replaced. Okay, so again, we're holding on to it. What's the probability the second pencil is purple, given that the first pencil is purple? So again, I pick the pencil, I'm holding it in my hand. Of the 19 pencils to start with, I still only have 18. And I started with 5 purple pencils, but remember, I have 1 in my hand. So my probability there is going to be 4/18, which can simplify to 2/9. Okay, next scenario. 2 pencils are drawn one at a time and replaced, meaning I pick a pencil, I see what I have, and I put it back. What is the probability that the second pencil is red, given that the first pencil is yellow? So in this case, when I pick it and then I put it back, the first event doesn't matter since the item is replaced or put back. So we don't even really have to pay attention to what's going on first. We pick the pencil, we put it back, now we start over. We have 19 pencils back in that bag again. The second pencil is red. So I go back up and I see that there are 8 red pencils in the bag. So that's my probability of giving that red pencil a second time around. All right, let's look at our last one for today. 2 pencils are drawn one at a time and again replaced. So again, it doesn't matter what happens first because we put it back. What's the probability of that second pencil being yellow, given that the first pencil is yellow? Pick that yellow pencil, put it back. Again, now I'm back to 19 pencils. And if I go and look and I started with 6 yellow pencils, I still have 6 yellow pencils in the bag because I replaced it. And that's my final answer right, that's 6/19. Okay, thanks so much for stopping by today. You have a great day.